Hello everyone, welcome to today's class. This is Teacher Simon taking you through Cambridge Igcse Extended Mathematics Paper 42 for October-November 2024, questions 1 to 5. Question 1, Part A, Amvi buys a new car. The price of the car is $28,240. She is given a 7.5% discount. Calculate the amount she pays. Okay, I can use here two methods. Number one, I can first find a discount, which is equivalent to 7.5 over 100, then times the 28,240. Okay, what does this give us? So we can have 7.5 divided by 100, then times 28,240, and that is 2118. So the discount is $2,118. Then amount paid is going to be the 28,240. Then we subtract this 2,118. 28,240 minus 2118. Then we get the answer as 26122. 26122. Alternatively, you can say this is the quick method. The amount is going to be equal to, you get 100. Since they took off the 7.5, so you take away the 7.5 out of 100, and then you multiply by this 28,240. Then you put this in the calculator. So we have 100 minus 7.5 out of 100. Then we can multiply with 28,240. You see, we get the answer right away. So that is that. Roman 2, the fuel tank in the new car has a capacity of 45 liters. This is 72% of the capacity of the fuel tank in her old car. Calculate the capacity of the fuel tank in her old car. Okay, so 72, this one is 72%. That means we can write 72% of the fuel in the old tank. This one is equivalent to 45. Okay, the same as saying 0.72 of x then is equal to 45. That means x is going to be equal to 45. Then we divide by 0.72. 45 divided by 0.72. This gives us 62.5. 62.5. Part B, Adi buys a new car costing $28,000. He pays the car using the finance plan. The finance plan is a deposit, then 47 equal monthly payments of $330, then a final payment of $11,490. Using this finance plan, Adi pays a total of $31,900 for the car. Calculate the deposit paid as the percentage of the $28,000. Okay, now the deposit, the amount which is paid is going to be given as to be given by the deposit, then plus the 47 equal installments of 330. So we shall say 47 times 330, then plus 11,490, which is equal to then 31900. Okay, so that means the deposit, making it the subject of the formula, is going to be equal to the 31900. We subtract 11490. We subtract, when you multiply these ones here, we subtract 47 times the 330. So altogether, what do we get? We shall get 31900, subtract 11490, then minus 47 into 330. And this gives us 4900. So that is $4,900. Okay. Then to find a percentage, we are going to get this 4900, we divide by the 28,000. Okay. Then we multiply by 100. What do we get? 4900 divided by 28000, then times 100. This gives us 17.5. 17.5%. Part C, a car travels 64 kilometers and uses 2.5 liters of fuel. It then travels 128 kilometers and uses 6 liters of fuel. Calculate the rate at which the car uses fuel during the whole journey. Give your answer in terms of liters per 100 kilometers. Okay. Now, the rate of fuel consumption, is going to be equal to the total amount of fuel, consumed, okay? Then we divide by the total distance traveled. Why am I doing this? It's because they have said that we look for the rate which is given in liters per 100 kilometers. So I need to put liters up here. That is the amount of fuel. Then 100 kilometers represents the distance. So then we can substitute the total amount of fuel used. We have the 2.5 liters, then plus the 6 liters. Then we divide by, this one is 64 kilometers, then plus 128 kilometers. And these ones will be liters, okay, per kilometer. Because down here we are having kilometers, all right? 2.5 plus 6, then we are dividing by 64 plus 128. That is 17 out of 384. Okay? 17 out of 384. 17 out of 384. These are liters here, then per a kilometer. So how about when they are 100 kilometers? That means what we have gotten here, we can multiply it by 100. So this will be liters per 100 kilometers. Okay? So what do we get? The answer we have gotten, we multiply it by 100. So times 100. This one gives us 4.43 to 3 significant figures. 4.43 as our answer there. Then part D, at the start of 2021, the value of a car was $46,500. At the end of 2021, the value of the car was 20% less. At the end of 2022, the value of the car was 15% less than its value at the end of 2021. Calculate the value of the car at the end of 2022. Okay, now let's look at the value of the car at the end of 2021. Okay, value, let's do it in steps. Value of the car, value of the car at the end of 2021. So this one is going to be equal to 46,500. Okay, it is decreasing by 20%. So I will say 100, then subtract 20 out of 100. Okay, what do we get? 46,500 into 100 minus 20 over 100. Then this one gives us 37200. 37200. This is the value of the car at the end of 2021. Now let's look at the value of the car. Value of the car at the end of 2022. At the end of 2022. Now, this one is going to be what we have gotten here as 37200. Then it is decreasing by 15%. Okay, so we shall say 100, then minus the 15 over 100. Then what do we get here? 37200, then times 100 minus the 15 out of the 100, and then this one will be 31620. So 31620, and this is the answer they want. So we just shift and put it here, 31620. Question 2, the table shows some values of for y is equal to x cubed plus 4x squared minus 4. We are given the table of values here, and part A, we are told to complete the table. So you are supposed to put negative 4 in here, okay? When we are substituting there, we shall put negative 4 cubed, then plus 4, then we put negative 4 squared, and then minus 4. Okay, then here we shall put negative 1. All the power of a negative is always a negative. Then 4 times negative 1 squared, then minus 4. They are only those two. So I'll put the brackets, then put negative 4, then cubed, plus 4 into negative 4, and then minus 4. So this one gives us negative 4. So I'll put negative 4 here. Then next, now where there is negative 4, I'm going to put negative 1. So replace the 4 with a 1. Here also with a 1. And here we get negative 1. So our answer here is negative 1. Now the next thing on the grid, draw the graph of y is equal to x cubed plus 4x squared minus 4. Okay, for x ranging from negative 4.5 to 1.5. Now, here we are supposed to be plotting. So you plot the x against the y. Negative 4.5 on the x is here. We count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is along this line here. And then the y coordinate is negative 14.1. So negative 1 small box on the y. Okay. For the vertical axis, 1 small box is equivalent to, they are adding on 5. So 5 divided by 10, which is equal to 0.5. Okay. And then for the horizontal axis, 1 small box is equivalent to 1 divided by 10, because there are 10 of them in here, and every time they are adding a 1. So this will be 0.1. Now here we are looking for negative 14.1. So negative 14.1, this will be the 14 here. Then 0.1 is just beyond this one here. So we shall come here and we put it just slightly below. So we shall have something like this there. And then next, we can go to the next one. It is negative 3, 5. Negative 3, negative 5. Negative 3, no, negative 4, negative 4. So negative 4, negative 4. So negative 4 is here, and then negative 4. So we have a point here, and I can put a circle there. And then the next one is negative 3, 5. Negative 3 and 5, it is here. This is a cubic curve. So cubic curves can be like that or like that. Okay. So that is what we are trying to plot here. Okay. Then the next one, we are supposed to plot negative 2, 4. Negative 2 and then the 4. So it is here. Then I put my circle, small circle. And then negative 1, negative 1. So negative 1 and negative 1. It has to be just below here. Then the next one is going to be 0, negative 4. 0, negative 4. So negative 4 is here. Put a small circle. And then the next one is 1, 1. So 1 and 1, it is here. Then 1.5, 8.4. This one is 1.5. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 8. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 9 is here. So 0.5 is around here. So we shall put this one below here, just around there before the 8.5. Okay. So something like that. That is our points. Those are our points. Now we are supposed to join them to form a curve. Begin from down here, join this one to this, then also join this one to this one here. Then we begin from this other side up, join this one here to this one down here, then let it pass through here, then it goes, then like that. So that is going to be our graph. Just try to be smooth as you can. And then draw a tangent, part C, Roman 1, draw a tangent to the curve at the point 1, 1. So point 1, 1, 1, 1 is here. So you get your ruler. We balance the line above this. Then next, they are saying, use your tangent to estimate the gradient of the curve at 1, 1. So what we are going to do, we look at this graph and we pick out the points where the line passes through the corner points. What do I mean by the corner points? I can have, these are the squares. So where does it pass through the corner here? Something like that, okay? And I can see a point here, here. Then I can see another one down. Where can I find it? I can even just find it just here. So then I can connect these 2 points. Okay. Connect them here. I can make this one a little bit dotted. Just like that. And then after, we can count how many small boxes are here. Okay. How many small boxes are here? These are 3. Now 8. Then 13, 18, 23, 28. Then this one will give us 31. Okay. So we are having 31 small boxes there. So I can dot this one as 31. Then I come down here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Those ones are 16. So I dot this one as a 16. Then I go to find the gradient. Remember, gradient is change in y over change in x. So the gradient is equal to the change in y over the change in x. So my change in y, we have seen there are 31. Okay, there are 31 small boxes. But each small box is equivalent to 0.5, which I wrote here. Okay, 0.5. So that means I'm going to multiply the 31 by the 0.5. So times 0.5. And then down here, we are having 16. So 16 then times the equivalence of a small box is 0.1. So times 0.1. Then I get my calculator. We are going to have 31 times 0.5. Then down here we have 16 times 0.1. Then this one gives us 9.6875. So I will write 9.6875. Okay, not all of us are going to get the same answer. So what they always do, because the tangent we are going to draw, not all of us are going to get the same tangent. I can even get this answer here, but then when I repeat to do the same question, I can get another answer. Okay, so they give you a range within which your value must lie. So for this one, they gave a range from 7 to 15. So if your value falls within there and you have correctly estimated it from the graph, then you are given the marks. Part D, by drawing a suitable straight line on the grid, solve the equation x cubed plus 4x squared minus 6x is equal to 0. Now what we can do, we have our equation of this curve here. The one we have drawn is this one, x cubed minus 4x squared minus 4. So I go back here and I say y, which is equal to x cubed then plus 4x squared minus 4. And then this other one here is x cubed plus 4x squared minus x minus 6. Okay, then is equal to 0. Then I subtract this one from the original one. So here I will get y. Then this way, this one goes, even this one goes. Then we are going to get, there is a 0 of x, then minus the minus x. Okay, so that one will give us the positive x that we can get here. So we have now positive x here. And then negative 4 minus minus 6, this one will become a plus. Then you have 6 minus 4, which gives us a 2. Okay, so we shall have here x plus 2. That means we are going to get like two coordinates. Two coordinates are enough. And then we go plot them for this line here. When x is 0, put a 0 here, y will be equal to 2. Then when y is 0, I'll put a 0 here, bring the 2 this way, x will be a negative 2. Then we plot this one here. So we go to our graph and we plot those points and we draw them there. 0, 0, and 2. So 0, 2 is here. You can plot that point. And then negative 2, 0 is here. And plot that point. Then I can connect these 2 points here. In fact, let me use another color. Connect this point here to this one here. Then draw all through. Okay, it's the same thing that I'm going to do this way. Okay, continue it this other side. Now this is the line y is equal to x plus 2. So when they said draw a suitable straight line, this is the one you get from subtracting the equation given from the original one you have drawn in the curve. Then from there, we read off these values here where they are meeting. So there is this one here, and then there is this one here. Actually, our x coordinate is just here, and then the other one where the curve meets, it is actually here. So I will have those points there. Now, when you check this one here properly, this one is, it is not yet on negative 4, so it is negative 3.9. This one here is negative 3.9. Then when I come to this one here, it is negative 1, negative 0.123, negative 1.3. Okay, negative 1.3. And then when I come to this other one here, it is 1.2. Okay, I have 1.2. So I will go to this side and I write those answers. I have 1.2. Then I come back here. I read this one is negative 1.2, negative 1.3. So I'll write negative 1.3. And then this other one here, where is it? This one here is negative 3.9. So I'll come back here and record negative 3.9. And since we all don't draw the same graph, we are not all smooth in the drawing of the curves. So they also give you what we call the range. Okay, the range, just like they gave us here for the tangent. Here is our graph there. Now the ranges they give for these values from negative 3.9 9 here, they have a range given as negative 3.9. Your answer must range from negative 3.9 to negative 3.8, and mine is there. Okay, then we have negative 1.3. This one must range from negative 1.4 to negative 1.3, you see, and mine is also there. And then the other one is 1.15 to 1.25, and I have 1.2. So my three values are there. Then I can get all the answers correct. Number 3, this one is coming from algebra, and they are saying part A, Roman 1, simplify. We have 3m minus 4m, minus 5n minus 4m plus 8n. So to simplify this one, I'm supposed to maybe collect the arc times together. This is an expression, so you don't change the signs, okay? I can have 3m, then minus 4m, then minus 5n plus 8n. A mistake is made when people are switching these numbers here and then they change the signs. Signs change if you are solving an equation and one term is crossing the equal signs, okay? So here they remain. Now we shall have 8n minus 5n, that one gives us 3n. And then 3m minus 4m, that one will give us minus m. So I can write my answer like that, or you can write minus m first and then you write 3n. It is all correct. Then here, using rules of indices for Roman 2, if we have a power b, then power c, then we are going to have a power b times c. Another one, if I have a power of b, and then I have also b, no, I can have, let's say, c, then power of b. This is the same as saying a times c, then you put power b, just like that. So that means this one is going to be 3, it will be power 4, times a squared, then it will be power 4 also, and then c power 3, it will also be power 4. Now, a power 4 of, 3 power 4, of course, that will be 81. Then times, this will be a power 2 times 4. Then c will be power 3 times 4. So we shall have 81, then a power 8, and then c power 12. Then Roman 3, these are fractions. So the LCM of 5, 10, and 15 can actually be 30, okay? Because all of them are divisible in 30. Now 30 divided by 5, you get 2. No. 30 divided by 5, you get 6. Then you say 6 times that 4x up there. Then minus 30 divided by 10, you get 3. Then you say 3 times that 3x up there. Okay, and then next 30 divided by 15, we get 2. Then you say 2 times this 2x up there. So here we shall have 24x minus 9x, then plus 4x. This one will be over 30. And then 24 minus, 24 plus 4, we shall get 28. Now 28 minus 9, this one will give us 19 of x, then out of 30. Then next, part B, this isosceles triangle has a perimeter of 35.5. Find the value of A. So this part here is equal to this. So that means, perimeter is the sum of all the sides. So that means I will have 3a plus 2. Then I add 3a plus 2, which will be, no, I've forgotten a. So plus a here, which will be equal to 35.5. Now 3a plus 3a, that is 6a plus a, that is 7a. So I'll have 7a here. Then 2 plus 2, that is a 4. Okay, then I equate to 35.5. So meaning our a is going to be equal to 35.5. First subtract of a 4, then after divide by 7. So we have 35.5 minus a 4, and then down here we shall have a 7. Then this one will give us 9 over 2, which is the same as 4.5. So I'll write here 4.5. Then next, part C, using the quadratic formula, solve the equation 5x squared minus 4x minus 3. So the general quadratic formula, quadratic expression is ax squared minus plus bx, then plus c. So that means the a is the 5, b is negative 4, c is negative 3. So, and the quadratic formula is given by x is equal to minus b plus or minus to the root of b squared minus 4ac, then out of 2a. So I just substitute here. My b is a negative 4, so I'll put minus of minus 4. Usually there is a mistake made here when you are given a negative here. People forget this other negative, okay? Negative of negative 4, then plus or minus the root. Put that negative here in brackets and you say squared minus 4 times a, which is 5, times c, which is negative 3. Then you divide by 2 times the 5, okay? Then here we are having 5 times 4, that is 20. 20 times 3, that is 60. Okay. Now 60 plus 16, that is 76. Remember, this is a minus times a minus, you get a positive, right? So you'll get positive 4 here, plus or minus root of 76 out of 10. So meaning x1 is going to be equal to 4. Then take the plus sign, root of 76 over 10. And then our x2 is going to be equal to 4. Subtract root of 76 out of 10. Then what do we get? Then we put this in the calculator. You can have 4 plus root of 76. Then down here you have 10. And we are going to have 1.27 to 2 decimal places. So 1.27 to 2 decimal places. And then the other one will just come here and then change this sign to a minus. And this one gives us negative 0.47. Okay, actually I'm going to write to 3 significant figures. Negative 0.472. Negative 0.472. So all of them are to 3 significant figures. Your answer should be at least to 3 significant figures. Okay, then part D, solve these simultaneous equations. One is linear, the other one is non-linear. You must show all your working. So what we do, we solve them simultaneously using substitution method. So since y is equal to this and also y is equal to this, then these two are equal. So that means for intersection, I will have x squared minus 4x plus 5. I will equate it to 2x minus 3. So the whole of this is the y. Then I just put it in the place of y here. Okay, so 2x minus 3. Then I bring everything onto this side such that I form a quadratic equation. So we shall have x squared minus 4x minus 2x. Then there is a 5 here, then plus 3. When this one crosses, it becomes a positive. Then this one gives us x squared minus 6x, then plus 8, which is equal to 0. And this one can easily be factorized, okay? But to do factorization very fast, you get your calculator here. Then you press mod, calculate, equation is 5. You press that 5, then 3. And then a is the coefficient of x squared, which is a 1. And then the coefficient of x is a negative 6, that is the b they're asking for here. And then the c is the constant part, which is 8. And then when you press equals, the calculator gives you a 4 and then a 2. So what you do, you leave space here, okay? You say x is equal to 4 and also x is equal to 2. But if you just write these ones here and then you go, you are going to lose marks because they said you must show all your working. So you must show your attempt to solve the quadratic equation. So what do we do? Here, they didn't specify whether you can solve using the factorization, completing squares, or even factorization. So what do we do? You can use any method you want. You can use the quadratic formula we have used up there, but this one, you can use factorization. It was easier. Now, what you do, bring this one back. We need the factor from which this root is coming. So we shall have x minus 4. And then bring also this 2 back. It will be x minus 2. You would have cheated the examiner, just like that. Now, you get the values of y. You say for x is equal to 2. What is the value of y? Substitute in any of these equations, but the easier one will be the linear one. So 2 times 2 minus 3. So you will have here 4 minus 3, that is a 1. And then for x, which is equal to 4, what will be the y? Y is going to be equal to 2 times 4, which is 8, minus 3. This one will give us a 5. Now, people can do this very well, but then when it comes to writing the answers here, they mess up. When x is 2, y is 1. So you write the 2 here and then the 1 here on the same line. Then this one 4 and then 5. So I'll write here my 4 and then the 5, just like that. Question 4 part A. The angles of a quadrilateral are W, X, Y, and Z. The ratio of W to then X, Y, X plus Y plus Z is equal to 3 to 5. Find the value of W. Now we can get the total ratio. So the total ratio is going to be 3 plus 5, which is equal to 8. Okay. Now, that means W corresponds to, the shares are 3 out of the total, which is 8, okay? Then times 360. Why 360? Because sum of angles in a quadrilateral, is 360. Okay, so putting this in the calculator, so we have 3 divided by 8, then times 360. This one gives us 135. So W is equal to 135 degrees. Okay, then part B is coming from circle theorems. Okay, A, B, C, and D are points on the circle. PQ is the tangent to the circle at A. BMND is a straight line. Angle ACD is equal to 49 degrees. Angle AMB is equal to 105, and angle PAB is 45. And we are now told to find angle BAM. Angle BAM. So this is the one here. Okay, that is the one there. Now, angle BAM, this one here, this is the one that you want. Okay, now angle ABD, I want you to follow. Angle ABD is actually equal to angle ACD, which is equal to 49 degrees. Okay, why angles in the same segment? Let me give the geometrical reasons. Angles in the same segment by the same arc are equal. In the same segment are equal, because sometimes they say give geometrical reasons. So we are having this point here and this one here. Then we move like that. We come to this one here. Again, come back to point A. Then there is a chord again coming from it, then to the circumference, and then comes back again here at D. So that is how we see angles in the same segment. Okay. Now, this one here is going to be 49. So since I know this as 49 and this one as 105, can't you get this one here? We can get it. Okay, now let's get that one here. Angle BAM is therefore going to be equal to 180, because you know that angle sum in a triangle is 180. So we shall subtract the 49 when it is added to the 100 and what? And 5. So what do we get? 180 minus 49 when it is added to 105. Then this is 26. So our answer here is 26 degrees. Then Roman 2 part A, find angle BAD. Angle BAD. Let's check it out here. Angle BAD. So we want this one here. Okay. Angle BAD. Now, when you check this angle PAB, okay, angle PAB, this 45 here, okay, you look at the segment within which it lies, and then you go and look at the angle which is opposite in that triangle there. So this one here is also going to be 45 degrees. You see that? Now, after getting that one as 45 degrees, remember they have told us to find angle BAD. So BAD, already this is 49 and this is 45. That means we can find this angle here because all of the angles are in a triangle. You see that? Okay. Now let me rub off a few things here. Make the diagram a little bit clear. Now, we are going to have 180, so I will first write this, that angle PAB is equal to angle BDA, which is equal to 45. And then, what are we using? Alternate segment theorem. Now, that means angle BAD, because they are angles in a triangle, it will be 180 minus the 49 degrees plus the 45. We have said PAB is equal to BDA. Okay? PAB, this is the angle 45, is equal to DA. Okay? Or you can say ADB. It is this angle here, using alternate segment theorem. Now, 49 plus 45, that one will give us 94. Yes, when we subtract it from 180, we get 86 degrees. Part B, give a geometrical reason why BD is not a diameter of the circle. Now, for any diameter of the circle, okay, the angle subtended at the circumference of the circle by the diameter is always 90 degrees. Why? Because angle at the center here is 180 and angle at the circumference here has to be a half of this 180. Now, when you check BD here, this angle here is not 90 degrees. This one we have found here is not 90 degrees. If it were 90 degrees, then BD would have been a diameter. Okay? So, therefore, we are going to say angle BAD is not equal to 90 degrees. Yet, angle in a semicircle, angle in the semicircle is always 90 degrees. So BD is not a diameter. Then part C, they have given us this diagram here and they are saying that A, B, C, and D are points on a circle. Center O, TA and TC are tangents to the circle. OA is equal to 6.75 centimeters and OT is equal to 11.5 centimeters. Roman 1, show that angle AOC is equal to 108.12, correct to 2 decimal places. Okay. Now, when you look at this one here, first of all, this is a right angle triangle and this is a right angle triangle. So AOC, we need to find this angle here. It is actually going to be equal to this angle here. Okay, OA is given as 6.75 and then OT is given as 11.5. Now, this one is a right angle triangle. Okay, and relative to this angle, okay, this one here is going to be the opposite. This is going to be the adjacent, and then this will be the hypotenuse. So we are given the opposite, the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So since we know the adjacent and the hypotenuse, then that means using SOHCAHTOA, we are going using this acronym here, SOHCAHTOA, where O represents the opposite, H the hypotenuse, and then A the adjacent, S for sine, C for cos, and T for tan. So we shall use cosine of that angle is equal to the adjacent, which is 6.75. Okay, then we shall divide by the hypotenuse, which is 11.5. So meaning alpha is going to be the arc cos of 6.75 divided by 11.5. So what do we get here? We are going to have the arc cos of 6.75 out of 11.5. This one will give us 54.1. Okay, so angle AOC is twice alpha. Okay, so is twice this one, the arc cos of 7 point, this is 6.75 divided by 11.5. So what do we get? Okay, we can multiply it by 2. We get 108.117, but then to 2 decimal places, you can see it is 108.12. Okay, 108.12 degrees. That is to 2 decimal places. That is that. And then Roman 2, calculate the length of the minor arc ABC. Length of an arc. Length of an arc, but let me just write here minor arc. They have even put it in bold. ABC. Now length of an arc is equal to theta divided by 360, then times an arc is part of the circumference of the circle, and circumference is given by 2 pi r. We divide by 360 because the sum of angles in the circle is 360, okay, degrees. Now, the minor arc ABC, this one here, okay. In fact, now let me take off all of these. Okay, all of that. So they want this one here. The angle subtended is this one here at the center, is the one which corresponds to this arc. So the angle must be looking like the arc. Now, if it is this major arc, then the angle also has to be this arc, which shows that angle must also be looking like it. Okay, so now what do we have here? The angle, we have gotten it here as 108.12. Then you divide by 360, then times 2 pi, and the radius, we see it OA. It is the 6.75. So putting all of this in the calculator, then I just set times 2 pi times 6.75. Then I will set divide by 360. I'll get a perfect answer, which is 12.7 to 3 significant figures. 12.7, 3 significant figures. Okay, then Roman 3, calculate the area of the major sector OCDA. OCDA. That means we need to get this angle here, okay? And we shall say 360 degrees minus the one that we got here, okay? Because angles at a point add up to 360 degrees. So that means area of the major sector, area of major sector is going to be equal to the angle we got. So we shall say 360 degrees, okay, minus that 108.12. Then we divide by 360. A sector is part of the space enclosed in the circle, so it is just a portion of this, but yet the area of the circle is given as pi r squared. So we shall multiply with pi. When we are finding the area of the sector, we multiply by pi r squared. When we are finding the length of the arc, then we multiply by 2 pi r. So this is pi r squared, and our radius is 6.75. So we just put all of this in the calculator, and then we write down our answer. Okay, so we are going to have 360 minus 108.12, then 360 here, then times pi, then times, there is a square on this one here, so 6.75 squared. Then the answer is going to be 100, okay, 0.1, and the rest of those figures, but to three significant figures, I can write 100. So there's a square here, then I can write 100, okay, to three significant figures. Remember, zeros are significant figures if they are in between other figures. So the zeros that we see in this value here, okay, they are significant figures because they are in between these other ones here. Now, when we are rounding off to the three significant figures, and I write 100 here, these are three significant figures based on this here. But the usual number, the 100, this one has one significant figure. Okay. Question 5, part A. The cumulative frequency diagram shows information about the distance traveled by each of 80 motorists in a month. And then Roman 1, use the cumulative frequency diagram to find an estimate of the median. Median is the value that divides the given distribution into two equal parts. So that means this one is going to be the summation of f. Can get it from here. That is 100. 80. And even here, they talk about it here, the 80 motorists. So that means we are going to have 80 over 2. And that one is going to be the 40th value. So we go to our diagram here, and then we look for 40. You get your ruler, you draw up to where the curve is, and then you go down here, you read off that value. Okay, this is the one here. Now, you can check right from here that what is the equivalence of a small box here. One small box is equivalent to, what are they adding every now and then? Those are 400, okay? So they are adding 400 for every after 10 small boxes. So that means this one is, each small box is equivalent to 40, okay? And then up here, one small box is equivalent to 20 out of 10, which will be 2, okay? Now, the 40th value, this is now 40. How many small boxes are here? Okay, how many are you seeing? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 7 times 40. What do we get? Isn't that 280? So if you get 1,200, then plus 280, that one will give us 1,480. Okay, 1,480. And then the next one, interquartile range. This one is equal to Q3 minus Q1. The upper quartile minus the lower quartile. This is 3/4 of the 80. And then minus a quarter of the 80. So 80 divided by 4, that is 20 times 3. So we shall get the 60th value, then minus the 20th value. So many people do a mistake here. They say now 60th value minus the 20th value, then they subtract these values, and then they give you the 40th value. Of course, you are going to give the median always, but that is not what you're supposed to do. So find these individual values from the graph, and then you subtract them. So where is the 60? 60 is up here. Get your ruler, get to the 60, then where it meets with the curve, come down here, read off that value, okay, which is 1,600. So we shall have 1,600, then we subtract. Q1 is 20, so come here where there is 20, Then draw to the graph here and then read off down here. Okay, when we read off down here, what are we getting here? So it is one small box before. Okay, one small box before the 1200. So I can just say 1200 minus the 40. Okay, that one will give me 1160. Okay, 1160. 1160. Then when I subtract these ones, I'll get 440. Now, since they drew for us this graph here, we are all supposed to get the same values here. Here, they don't give you any range. Okay, then Roman 2, one of these motorists is picked at random. Find the probability that this motorist travels more than 1,800 kilometers. So you look for 1,800. Now, remember, each is 40. So 1,800 kilometers, we need to look for that value. Okay. Now, 1,800 minus 1,600, what do you get? You get 200. Okay. Now, if I get 200 and I divide it by 40, I'll get a 5. Not so? So, I'm dividing by 40. I want to know how many small boxes am I adding onto the 1,600 to locate the 1,800. Okay. So that is that. There are 5 of them. So meaning I'll come here and I look for, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It will be here. It is going to be in the middle here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Then we get our ruler here. Then you draw. Let it meet again the curve here. Then after that, read off here. So that is the one here. Then what do we see here? Okay, now what we see here, remember each small box is equivalent to 2. So how many are above here? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. So the one that is above here, there are 4, that means times 2, that is 8. So meaning we shall get 80 minus 8, which is 72. Okay. 80. Then minus the 72. And then this one will give us 8. Okay. No. Wait, they asked for the probability. This is 8. That means the probability is going to be that 8, then divide by the total, which is 80. And I can write this as 0.1. Okay. Then part B, they are saying that the distance around a racing track is 5.104 kilometers. The time taken by the car to complete one lap of the track is 1 meter 18 seconds. Calculate the average speed. Now, you know that average speed is equal to the total distance divided by the time. And speed, time, and distance are connected in this triangle like this. So speed here is going to be equal to the distance. Okay. Then we divide by the time. So the one you are looking for, you cover it. So when I cover this one, I remain with d over t. You see that? Okay. Now the distance is 5.104. It is in kilometers. Then the time, we are given 1 minute and 18 seconds. And we are supposed to put it in per hour. Okay. So 1 minute 18 seconds. Okay. 1 minute 18 seconds is going to be this. 1 minute is the same as 60 seconds. Now plus the 18 seconds, these are 78 seconds. And in 1 hour, we have 60 minutes, but each minute is equivalent to 60 seconds, which is equal to 3,600 seconds. That means when I'm dividing here, I have to divide the time given in hours. So I'll get 78 divided by 3600. So we shall get 5.104, then divide by 78, which is divided by 3600. then the answer is 235, and the rest of those figures, but I can round this off to 3 significant figures, and then I write 236. That is that. Then part C, the top speed v kilometers per hour of each of 160 cars is recorded. The histogram shows this information. Roman 1, show that there are 8 cars with the top speed in the range or in the interval 120 to 160. Now, since here we are having frequency density, we should know that frequency density is the same as frequency over the class width. Now, that means when I need frequency, it is going to be equal to the class width times the frequency density. Okay, so meaning this is the class width where these graphs, where these bars, okay, range from. So it is here and also here. That is the class width. You just get the upper minus the smaller, okay, the lower. Then after that, the frequency density is here. So when I get the area of this bar, okay, I'll be getting the class width then times the frequency density, which will be giving me the frequency. Okay, so what am I therefore going to have here? So they say that show that there are 8 cars with the top speed in the interval 120 to 160. Where is 120 to 160? This is exactly the one here. So how many small boxes do we see here? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Of course, I can write 160 minus the 120. What do you get? We get 40. Okay, so what is even the equivalence of a small box here? They are adding 40, 40, so that is 40, and there are 10 small boxes there, so it is equal to 4. Now, so here we are having 40. That means we are going to have the frequency here. Our frequency is going to be equal to the 40, then times the frequency density. One small box here is equivalent to, they are adding on every now and then 0.5, but there are 10 small boxes in there, which is 0.05. So how many are they? This is 0.05, then 0.15, then 0.2. So this is 0.2 here. That means I will get 40 times 0.2. 0.2 is the same as 1 over 5. So that means the frequency here is going to be 8. Then calculate an estimate of the mean top speed. So mean is equivalent to summation of f of x, then divide by, summation of fx divided by the summation of f. And we need to find the frequencies for each of them. Okay, so how do we find these frequencies here? Let's look at the one for 160 to 180. Then we have 182. Let's check these ones up here. 180 to the one in the middle here would be 200. Okay, to 200. Then now from 200 to this one here, you just get that one is 240. Yes, it is in the middle of 220 and 260. So we shall have 200, then 240, and then 240 to 300. So what will be the frequency here? What will be the frequency here and also here? So the frequency density for this one here, 160 to 120, we can see that it is 1.1 here, and then the class width here is 20, 180 minus 160. So let us actually identify these values. This is 1.1, then the next one here is actually 1.5, then 6, 7, 8. This is 1.8, and then the next one here is 1.6. Okay, 1.6. Then this other one here is actually 0.5. Okay, now let us find the frequencies. So we have 1.1, 1.1, then times 180 minus 160, that is 20. And then the next one, we are having 1.8, 1.8, and then times 20. Yes, 1.8 times 20. Then the next one here, which one is the next one? What we have 1.6. Okay, 1.6. So I'll write here 1.6. Then times 240 minus 200, that is a 40. And then the last one is 0.5. Then 300 minus 240, that one gives you a 60. Okay, so this one gives you 22. This one gives us 36. This one will give us 64. And then this one will give us 30. Now, how do we then get our mean? So our mean is going to be equal to, remember it is summation of fx divided by summation of f. So the x is the mid value. Okay, x is the mid value of those class intervals. Now the mid value, we are going to have our x's calculated like this. You will have, like for the first one, you get 120 plus 160, then you divide by 2. The same to this plus this, divide by 2, like that. Okay, now let's do it. We shall say 120 plus 160 divide by 2. That will be 140. So I will say 140, then times the frequency here, which is 8. Then for the next one here, 160 plus 180 divided by 2, that will be 170. So I write 170, then times the frequency here is, the frequency is 22. Then the next one, 180 plus 200, then divide by 2, that one will give us 190. Then times the 36. Then 200 plus 240, these ones will give us 440 divided by 2, we get 220, then times the 64 here, and then plus, now 240 plus 300, that will be 540, divide by 2, this one will give us 270. Yes, 270, then times the 30. Okay, then after that we shall divide all through by how many are they when we add the frequencies. Already they told us it is 160. So when we add these frequencies here, we get 160. So this is 130, 152. Okay, then plus the 8 here. So it gives us, that means our frequencies are correct. So divide by 160. Now I can put all of this in the calculator at once. And what do we get? So putting everything in the calculator, we are going to get 140 times 8, then plus 170 times 22, then plus 190 times 36, then plus 220 times what? 220 times 64, then plus 270 times 30, and then down here we are going to have divide by 160. So it will give us 211.75. This one is a terminating decimal, so don't round off your answer to 3 significant figures. Just leave it. 211.75. So that is that. So this has been it for this first part of the paper. Thank you so much for watching. May God bless you. If you find the content very helpful to you, kindly like, share, and even subscribe. See you in the next video.